All right, today we're diving into a problem that I think we can all agree feels universal, our collapsing ability to focus. We're going to get into why this is happening, and maybe more importantly, what you can actually do to start reclaiming your attention, like right now.
So, let's just start with this, because it's a huge idea. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. When we fall short of our goals, it's so easy to think, oh, I'm just not smart enough, or I don't have the skills. But honestly, that's rarely the real reason.
No, the real reason is they fail because they're distracted. Their attention, which is, let's be honest, their most valuable resource, is just constantly getting yanked away from the things that actually matter. And here's the really scary part. It's not some big dramatic failure. It happens quietly. It happens in these tiny, seemingly harmless moments that just slowly steal your future. They add up day after day, chipping away at the person you want to become.
So, this slow erosion, this little thief, that's what we're going to call it, it brings us right to our first section, the quiet thief. Let's look at exactly how it operates, how it steals our potential, one moment at a time.
Okay, I'm just going to bet this story sounds familiar, right? You sit down, you're ready to work on something important, and then, buzz, your phone lights up. Just one little notification. You tell yourself, okay, just 1 second. But we all know how this goes. 5 minutes of checking turns into 20. Easy. And then you feel kind of tired, a little drained, so you scroll some more. And just like that, the momentum is gone. The big project? Yeah, I'll start tomorrow.
But here's what you've got to understand. This isn't about you being lazy. It's not a moral failing. It's because distraction feels easy. Our brains are literally wired to take the path of least resistance, to get that quick, easy reward. And in the heat of the moment, easy almost always wins.
So if it's not just a personal failing, then what's really going on? Well, that's where things get bigger, much bigger. We're moving into what you could call a full-blown war for attention.
To really get a grip on where we are today, we kind of have to look back. There was this media theorist, Neil Postman, and he talked about something called the typographic mind. Basically, it's a mind that was shaped by reading books. Think about it. Reading forces you into prolonged, serious, rational thought. It's an activity that by its very nature builds the muscle of concentration.
And you can see this shift so clearly when you look at something like political debates. Check this out. In 1858, you had the Lincoln-Douglas debates. People stood for 3 hours to listen. The opening statements were an hour long. That requires some serious focus. Now fast forward about 100 years to Kennedy-Nixon. The whole thing's only an hour with 8-minute openings. The information is suddenly bite-sized. And what did everyone talk about? Not the deep policy points, but the fact that Nixon looked sweaty and tired on TV. The medium had literally changed our brains.
And today? Oh, we've made another huge leap. From television to the internet. But the internet, it isn't some neutral playground. It's what some people call a hostile design environment. That's a powerful phrase, right? It means it's an entire ecosystem built from the ground up to capture, hold, and sell your attention.
And look, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some conspiracy theory. Just listen to Sean Parker, the first president of Facebook. He flat out said it. The goal was to figure out how to consume as much of your time as possible by giving you, and I quote, a little dopamine hit every once in a while. The addiction isn't an accident. It's not a bug. It is and always has been the entire point.
So this constant 24/7 battle for our eyeballs, it has a really profound impact. And that brings us to the real cost of all this distraction, which is what we're going to talk about in our next section. It's more than just time.
Okay, this right here. This is the idea that I think most of us miss. Yeah, losing time to distraction sucks, but that's not the real price. The real cost is that every single time you choose the easy distraction over the hard focus, you are changing who you are becoming.
Really think about that. Every time you pick up the phone instead of tackling that tough email, you're casting a vote for an identity. You're reinforcing the idea that you're someone who avoids hard things, and if you do that enough, well, you become that person. That's why so many of us feel stuck. It has nothing to do with how smart we are. It's a failure to consistently point our attention where it needs to go.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, I know. But here's the good news, and it is really good news. Our brains aren't set in stone. They're plastic. We can change them. Which brings us to our final and most important section, how to actually rebuild your focus.
All right, let's get practical. Here's a 6-step toolkit for taking back your attention. Number 1, find your passion. It's just true. Focus follows what you actually care about. Find a way to love what you do. 2,
Protect your time. Just block out one sacred hour. That's it. Phone off, no extra tabs, just you and one important thing. 3. Make distraction harder. Seriously, put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications. Add friction. Make it annoying to get distracted. 4. Practice stillness. Just go for a walk with no headphones. Let yourself be bored for a minute. It's like a reset for your brain. 5 is huge. Practice returning. Your mind is going to wander. That's what minds do. The skill, the muscle you're building, is just gently bringing it back over and over. And finally, number 6, celebrate the small wins. Be proud of 10 seconds of focus. Seriously, it all builds on itself. And that's how you get momentum.
Because when you get right down to it, this is the whole game. Nothing valuable, not your career, not your relationships, not your personal growth, nothing truly valuable can grow in a scattered, distracted mind.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. It's really the only question that matters now. Your attention is your superpower. So, where are you going to place it tomorrow?